How's it going, everybody? I am here in Blairsville at Sunrise Grocery. This is my my normal job, but we do have some mountains in the very back that's covered in snow. But I'm gonna bring you the second edition of my Best of 2020. Kind of go over some of the images that I've selected and why. Some of them are because of I like the compositional value of them, and the rest I just has a cool story behind it. But anyway, I appreciate you watching the first one, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this one. And so I am adding the same intro to this one as the last one. So if you've seen it and you don't want to see it again, just kind of pass through it. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you. Right now would be a bad time to lose footing. Just one thing before we get into the photos. If you enjoy the content that we share on our channel and you are not subscribed to the channel, It helps us tremendously, and it's very easy to do. You just get notified when we upload something, and also it gives weight to our channel to YouTube. So if you would please take the time to like and subscribe, that would be awesome and appreciate it. And let's get to the photos. Well, the first image on this episode is from my favorite place in Georgia to photograph. I've actually never seen another photographer in here. I've seen some fishermen, but that's about it. There's moss everywhere, and I got this in the springtime when the rhododendrons were in full bloom. And but I love how the creek comes winding through. There's actually a waterfall just on the other side of that bigger rock, but I just kind of got lower and eliminated that from the scene. I didn't find it useful, and but I loved how this side branch came off and trickled into the pool, and it gives like a nice little S-curve that leads into the scene with the dramatic light, the big old growth trees, and you can see the little white dots of all the rhododendrons that are growing around the forest. It was raining on this day, so we had that nice fog in the canopy. We did have some ambient light that was kind of coming through some of the open parts of the forest. But yep, this was I love this area. I go there multiple times a year. It's just pretty in all different times of year. The fall is gorgeous. The summer is pretty, it doesn't have all the other little things to tack on with it, like the rhododendrons or the fall color. But yep, the moss, the water, the smell of the forest, the old growth trees, it's definitely a beautiful place to photograph. This second image is all about the story. Chris and I, with Appalachian Apertures, did an astrophotography workshop on the top of Brasstown Bald. And we had no idea when we scheduled this that we would be treated to the comet Neowise. So we got the group and we shot a sunset. And the plan was to shoot the sunset, then kind of go back down into the below the tower there and do like an editing session and let the sky get dark and then shoot the Milky Way and different constellations. But once we started approaching the date, we realized that we were going to get Neowise. So after the sun went down, we just patiently awaited, and then all of a sudden, as the sky got darker, then Neowise got brighter. And so it was a great opportunity for the group. I was just as excited as they were. And with this image, I got one of the participants on the left side there, on the back side on the west side of the tower, taking a photograph of Neowise over Young Harris. So that's why this image makes it for me for 2020. Again, it was just a fantastic workshop. We got more of these planned in 2021. Brasstown is an amazing place to see the Milky Way. Unfortunately, we won't have Neowise, but who knows? But anyway, yep, that's why this image is best of 2020. This third image is from the Cherokee National Forest in Tennessee. I chose this photo because I like it. I like the composition and like how everything's set up here. I like that dark, empty space on the bottom left. I like the kind of the pedestal rock that sits out in the bottom right, kind of pushing you towards the image. Then it wraps around from the right side and takes you into the first waterfall, which is a nice cascading waterfall. This is probably about 15 feet tall, 12 foot tall. Then you can see the tree leaning over into the frame on the top left. Then in the very back, you have a prominent waterfall that's along this creek. And we had great light that day. It was kind of overcast, so the light on the water was pretty even. It was a little rainy that day, so we did have some of that ambiance in the canopy. You know, you can see a little bit of the fog in the top left. But yeah, we just had a great day. It was more or less scouting for a trip that we were going to do in the fall, which that workshop was all the participants had a great time, and a lot of them got some great shots. But this was just strictly about scouting. And a buddy of mine had showed me this waterfall year before last. And so I took Chris up in here, and we just had a great time. He got some awesome shots. We actually did a YouTube video of this location. That day was our kickoff, actually, for our YouTube channel. So that is why this image made my best of 2020. Image number 4 is of Hilton Creek Falls here in Blairsville in North Georgia. I like the composition of this, and I also like the technical aspect of this image. I have shot this image to death, or I've shot this waterfall to death. It's just about 4 miles up the road from me. So I kind of went in with the mindset of getting something different. And the two things to me that really sets Hilton Creek apart, or kind of makes it unique, is there's like a little slope that runs from the right side of the waterfall at an angle to the center of the fall. And also this massive tree that sits on the base of it. So what I wanted to do is I kind of got back and almost pinned myself into the woods, and got low and shot at around 88 millimeters and really compressed the frame. And I focused on the log, and what I wanted to do to create separation is have focus fall off from the front to the back. So at 88 mil, obviously my depth of field is going to be pretty small. So I went with f14, and I got about a 13th of a second, which just on the waterfall was actually a perfect speed. I like the texture of the water there. But at f13, it gave me, when you look at this image on a print, the leaves, the green in the front of the image, which gives us a little break in the color behind, is a little soft. And the tree, the main part of the tree, is just tack sharp. And the wall of the fall is actually falls off focus. So that just gives the image depth. And when here at my store, I actually have a 24 by 36 of that print, and it just looks 3D. It just that separation and focus is another way that you can use or create depth with the image. You don't always have to have fog or something like that. But yeah, this is one of my favorite images of this past year. The 5th image is of the Great Smoky National Park. Jessica and I were heading in there this past fall, and the light was getting beautiful on the way down. And we come around a corner, and I don't think I could say it any better than Jess did.
Oh my gosh!
Wonder if that is visual.
That is insane.
So yeah, she summed it up pretty good. It was like, soon as your eyes hit it, it was like, oh my gosh. It was just beautiful. The sun was kind of low on the western horizon. So it was nice, that nice orange glow that was raking across the mountains. And it was just lighting up all the color, the yellows and the oranges and the reds. The tree trunks that's that's kind of exposed or getting kind of nice side light. All the ambiance in the air, the clouds, the mist, was all kind of glowing. It gives it a nice depth because the trees across that first ridge, kind of stand out because that back mountain is just a little hazy. And the same for it. If you see the very top of that second ridge, you kind of see the trees lining the top of it. So it was just so pretty. I used the trees that were in front of me to frame the image. I was in the shade, so that nice dark contrast with that beautiful orange glow really makes it pop. So yeah, this was definitely a favorite of mine, and I'll remember this one, and so will Jess. I am going to sneak this one in. This was also from our Smoky trip. We were hiking in the Roaring Fork area there in Gatlinburg, and I was walking out of the creek there, and this little salamander just kind of poked out of the rocks, and he kind of posed for me for a little bit. He was looking right at me. Then he kind of turned around and up on this rock, and it was looking like he was just like every other person in the Smokies, just walking to a cliff edge and admiring the beauty of what the Great Smoky Mountains delivers. And he literally didn't move a muscle for like 10 minutes. And so I was able to actually focus stack him in the front, so just to get everything really sharp from his tail to the edge of the rock face. So yeah, this was a very neat moment. Image number 6 is from right here in Blairsville. This is the overlook on Blood Mountain. Chris Greer and my wife, Jessica, made the trip up from Winfield Scott, and a little bit longer, but the forest hike is it's so worth it. It was beautiful. The big trees along the ridge from Slaughter to Blood was just so pretty. This looks out towards like Woody Gap and that area. This was the last image I got from the day, actually. We were kind of wondering if we should go back into the woods because the sky was just crystal clear. But once we got up to the top, we could see the clouds like way off in the distance. And I looked at my weather app, and I could see the winds were kind of blowing towards us from the southwest, and that's where the clouds were sitting. So I knew they were moving our direction. It was just a matter of timing. And I actually like how it leaves a gap in the top right of the image, because there is a story to me. That's part of why an image is personal, is because there's so much attachment to it. But with it not totally filled in, it leaves a story of us waiting on the clouds that day. We also got a little crescent moon up in the top towards the center, but I shot probably about a 5-shot panorama with this, and I took multiple exposures of each one. So the contrast between the dark sides of the trees and stuff and the bright part of the sky there's a lot of dynamic range there. So I wanted all the information I could get. But it was a great day. Chris and I are scouting this for a 2021 workshop. I think we're going to do like a sunset astro and a sunrise up there. But yeah, it was a great day with some great company, and definitely one of my favorite images of the year. Image number 7, and definitely the most impactful place I visited all year, was Cumberland Island. The trees there are just, every single one of them has character. Chris had been warning me about this place, saying that my head might explode once I visit, and my brain has not recovered. I literally think about this place every day. Had beautiful untouched beaches, wild horses. They had there's a ruin there of an old home by the Carnegies, I believe. But this place was just magical. Chris and I got there about 12:30, set up camp, got done around 1 or so, and this big blanket of fog just moved in on us. And fog in this type of setting is just amazing. It literally took us an hour to get out of our campsite. You know, it's just wherever you look, you just want to point your camera at and shoot. But anyway, Chris and I are planning a workshop here for 2021. We don't have a date set yet. We're kind of running into some issues with the campground, trying to get a spot for us. We want to take a good sized group into there. But yeah, it was just a beautiful place, and if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, thank you for sitting through this video. Appreciate all the support that you have given Chris and I this past year. It's been an amazing one. We're hoping 2021 is equally as good. Obviously, from a photography standpoint, we know the world is in kind of a weird place right now. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. You guys take care, and thank you so much.